Gonna see what comes out. Oh, look at that. Our voice comes out. Attempted to put the poles up, but they crossed over. They weren't doing like what the pattern was doing last year, which confused us. But we've surrendered our conscious mind's need to know and understand. And we found that cross stone rock this morning. And more connections with Reem and Eve and with Russell yesterday and all the live group and playing together, because that's what we put in our title, because we wanted to play together with people. Yeah, so our Let's Play, Learn and Grow Together. Well, I think it was Let's Learn, Play and Grow Together or something. But we thought it'd be more fun to put play first. Not that we did that. That's one of the future ideas that run around. So we're attempting to put the poles up and do that structure a bit. We were attempting to do it this morning before the heat came out, but that didn't work. There's all big shifts going on. Not book out to figure out the figure of eights. Yeah, we can tell now because we're getting emotional. So the page numbers, there's 3 figure of 8 knots on there. Page 8, 16 and 22, which are big numbers for us. And on page 22, the figure of 8 loops, a hangman's knot, which takes you to card 12. The hanged man, the modern ruler of Pisces, which is Neptune, which is dreams and illusions. And it's not number 28, which is the house we got picked up outside of. And then that recognised pattern of the diamond in the poles. To the world unknown tarot. Apache Tia. That's the Black Obsidian Apache Tia, isn't it? Yeah. This is like that because we were just showing it to the family, the father and daughter that recently came into our house. So that's massive on the energy. And we showed her this book. So her energy's in this book. And we showed him that because we wanted to give them, if they were receptive to a book each, get them to choose a book each out of 5 different books that we'd got doubles of. And he chose the 4 agreements. She chose shaking medicine. And we showed them and talked about stuff. And they said how they'd got rainbow rugs in their house. And it's the 4 of Wands cards, which is the celebration cards. And so then we took that pattern out, which had all the top cards in, which are the 4 7s and 4 8s, or 5 7s and 5 8s, because you've got the 4 7s and the minor arcana and then the major arcana. We're just getting them out quickly. And there's this Congo, there's a flag, there's 2 places, and just in our little, like, you know, there's this section of bungalows, which is like 9 bungalows, and then there's another section at a T-junction. And there's one house in this section and one house in that T-junction section that have flags up. And it's normally a Cornish flag the far one puts up. This one puts up a Cornish flag or UK, and the far one puts up a Cornish flag. And today they had an unusual one. I think it's the Congo. We've been trying to look at it. So we got these out, and lo and behold, on the bottom of the packs, the Hanged Man. We got these out and put these all out because we've started doing some of these, but the written stuff can be a bit challenging. And that's Cancer, and we just watched Eve's Cancer was the last one we watched. It was Cancer. Before that, I think it was Virgo, and before that Taurus. Or was it Cancer, Taurus, Virgo? I think it was Cancer, Taurus, Virgo, because it was in the bushes. Just this morning, we noticed how there were loads of cobwebs outside the front of the house. It's a bit sunny now, so I don't know if you can see them. But there's all loads up there with a big spider up there. But like all across the front of the house, there were just like loads of them. And so that's where our attention got. This is the stone we found this morning while walking backwards. We've changed the pattern of walking backwards so that it incorporates a loop and involves going backwards up a few steps. yeah. So, why are we putting our shoes on? We don't need to put our shoes on. We're going in, not out. We put that one back to front. Yeah, so it's our back to front ones, our upside down ones, and our spatial awareness ones that something's going on. And the family that was in here, they've got rainbow rugs too. And when we did that, one of those poems, which I don't think's still up because of we didn't want to get any more copyrights, so we made everything private because we don't understand it. And they don't understand that we're not copywriting. We're just doing what we need to do to, I don't know, get ourselves whole and coherent so that we can function self-sufficiently. But this is the rainbow bridge from the conscious, the public scene, to the unconscious, the subconscious, the back, which is the private. And then in this deck of cards, they've got the numbers reversed on strength and justice, 8 and 11, which are our numbers, our birth given name vibrations 8, our new legal names number 11. So this is number 8, justice, where it's normally number 11, and it's actually got rainbow colour. Oh my god, it's got rainbow colour on the This is about us being proud for our disabilities, and even if we don't see ourselves as disabled, society sees us as disabled. Because we were talking about the flags, and we wondered when we looked at this one why they had the black, brown and blue and pink at the top, because that's not normal for the colours. And this is the pocket edition, the smaller ones that come out, and we love the small ones. And when we were looking for the Congo flag, or when we were looking for the flag to see, thank you, she's giving us something, thank you, Reem. We did Tom Momo. Oh yeah, that's the Fibonacci code, isn't it? 385. In the order that we do it, because normally it would go 358, but for us it's miss 2 and then go back 1, isn't it? You say it would be, you go from 3 to 8, back to 5, up to 13. So yeah, when we were looking for the flag, it came up with Congo, which I think was kind of that one. But it was more of a darker blue and we couldn't really see the star. But there was all kinds of these rainbow ones that we saw. And it was a disability pride one. It'd be better if we actually put in disability pride flag. We can't see the one we saw earlier now. But it had it was a flag of rainbows in a straight line with that thing that came in. No, it wasn't the disability pride. It was the forward movement pride. But that's where we saw there's multiple ones of us coming out now, but it's subtle. That's where we saw that's the one we're talking about, which is the Progress Pride flag. Because that's the black, brown, blue, pink. Progress Pride flag is getting an intersex inclusive makeover. Oh, so that's what the blue and the pink intersect, and then you've got the triangle and the circle. Eve just said something about a circle and a triangle, and you've got disability visibility there, because the disabilities we have are all invisible, and it makes people judge you a lot more. That's reminding us of the Lufruma colours. And we just find that challenging because we're so sensitive. We feel other people's judgments, and so we've got to get really strong in ourselves. But to get strong in ourselves, we have to be strong in our body. But to get strong in our body is really challenging because of our physical disabilities. But to be mentally safe at sharing and interacting with others, we need to be physically strong. So it's that combination of fragility physically and mentally. and that we've got to have pride, and that we've got to have pride in it. And that's challenging because of the domestication and the conditioning, because we know how we were before. We didn't realise we were like that, but we knew how we were before. And we, I suppose, were programmed and conditioned like everyone else that's trapped in societal views and ways. That disability's weakness, and you don't want to be disabled. And all that stuff. But that is us now. But we're not weak, we're exceptionally strong. And we're just watching the butterflies, not be many of them about. And our thing is to share our ways, because society didn't work for us. Societal ways didn't work for us, and that's why people cut off from us and we cut off for people, depending which was irrelevant, but that's what had to happen so that we could find our own way. And even though the majority probably see us as weak or weird or crazy or whatever, because we're a grown woman that goes into real little and children's, and the way we speak and present and express sometimes, we have in the past and still are now able to dance through and cope with what the majority wouldn't be able to. So it's just ironic, isn't it? You got to effing laugh, because none of that goes together. We're holding this in, I realise, because we're talking about something really deep and sensitive and vulnerable. Because we're fragmented, but we understand it from a pathology and body perspective. For this ones of us that have understood what we need to do to get our body functioning as a body ought to, so that we don't end up in a wheelchair and don't end up as a victim relying on society or handouts or others for the rest of our life. Because honestly, I don't think we'd be able to cope with that. The suicide in us was too strong. Not was, I suppose, is. It's still there. It doesn't disappear. Oh, that was good. Collarbone thing just went on then. The Hanged Man, we know a lady who was called Crystal that hung herself, but there was confusion over whether it was when her son was 12 or when we were 12. So that would have been 92. And I suppose when we were 18 and he was 12, so that would be 92 or 98. It's your more. Yes, that woman hurt in our shoulder, didn't it? But I think it's when we were 12, and I think the 98 when we were 18 was when the boat explosion happened, and a couple drowned from that. Which is all more connections and links to grief and purging of grief frequencies. We're an energy frequency dancer. We heal ourselves through a diet of frequency and a lifestyle of frequencies. And it's absolutely a magical and beyond belief of the conscious mind and the logical, societal, domesticated, academic mind of how this all functions and dances and works together. But our processing language disorder, words aren't a strong point. We were going to say challenging then, and we don't say our weakness, because those words aren't positive connotation words. And it's our words that program us, because we're humans, and human bodies are amazing bioorganic quantum computers, and the words do program it. But there's all many other things that programs it before that, and we knew the words we struggled with. So we said struggled then. But we did struggle with them. So actions speak louder than words, and so actions have been our main priority and focus since the psych ward, however little, and they've been little, because that was the way we could dance forward. And I suppose we just needed to share this. It's on video, but we're going to upload it. I suppose we'll upload it to Us Unholy Snowflake, because this is a collection of us all, and we don't do things how others do. And our channels, depending what channel we're on, depends which energetics we're in. And we're sharing because we need to share, we want to share, and probably because there's others out there that maybe need to hear some of this. But one of the things we programmed was that we couldn't cope because of our hypermobility, our flexibility, our subluxations, our dislocations, the physical pain in the body. We couldn't cope with the physical pain and what was going on in the body. That's another reason that we cut off from people and they cut off from us. Because we were absorbing their pain, their distortions, their dissonance. Because that's how we were programmed since a child and being brought up. We never had the opportunity to experience someone putting us first. And a lot of what's come up lately has been communication and talking. We're reading this book, Mike Gale is really good at the Half a World Way. And it's brought up the way we communicate in the world, especially in disability or just the way relationships. And there's a lot of people in relationships, and the relationships break even if they love each other dearly, because one needs the other to open up and communicate and doesn't understand why the other can't open up and communicate. And this is where trauma comes in. And it's because when there's trauma in certain networks of the body and in certain ways, to open up and communicate opens Pandora's box. When really, it's not about, well, I needed that person to open up and communicate and they didn't, so our relationship broke down. It's about turning the comprehension, the understanding of society that to have a healthy relationship, we need to be able to communicate healthily, and that communication means words. Because words are the least of communication. And the way we are going with the trauma being passed down from generations, the land trauma and all kinds of things, the new brain, the new body, the new earth, which is a differently wired brain, a differently wired body, which we currently label as autism. NASA's doing it. You've got children reading books with blindfolds on. And this is where the heart comes in. So yeah, we've gone off on it again, but this is our passion and this is what it's about. And I suppose our main thing is to be getting house tidy and in a state. So when we do our videos, we'll go live, because the going live actually gives us energy. But that took us, the last live we did on our Shinto side. Hi. Another shift there. We had to swap our armour, it's getting tired. No, Tito Momo! Yeah, we were about to swap our legs then, but we can't swap our legs now because that would take us into another big shift, and we're attempting to stay composed and balanced. So this is us managing the paralysis, the free state of the trauma cycles, the switching of personalities. Just. Because the switching of the personalities isn't just in the mind, they're the body. You know what, Paul? Okay, so we changed the weight from the outside of the right foot by getting into the right foot more, and then switched onto the left inner foot rather than the outside foot of the right foot. Tito Momo Martina! Yeah, Eve's titles and Eve's videos today were really good for her wording and stuff. So yeah, we've kind of lost it all, but we'll put this up as a vlog, a sharing, a diary. Massive shifts going on for everyone at the moment. Challenging. That was it. But we programmed, because the pain was too much, we programmed ourselves to have big shifts in a subtle way. And we just had one earlier. And we're still in it, actually, because this is all part of the process. We told Momo. So our body just changed the feet to the outside of the left foot and lifted up the right foot, and yeah, the hands and the peripherals to go to the deepest depths of that Celtic knot in the core. And so this is us rewiring the energetics. But we're not just rewiring energetics of the unseen, rewiring the pomaita. And I think you were going to say then we're rewiring the energetics of the physical too. Yeah. We're going to have to go soon because the pain's going in right inner left knee and up to our head scar on our left. So this is the part of communicating and sharing with such strength and authenticity and integrity in our vulnerability. Continuing to show and share our process and our progress. So when the big shift happened earlier, we were in the mirror and was just like, something massive is happening, absolutely massive. But everything looks the same, the colours aren't changing, everything feels the same, there was nothing. We were just looking round, looking in the mirror. It wasn't like we were looking in the mirror and missing our limbs or our head was on back to front. Everything's just absolutely the same and normal. And one of us said, we're having a really massive shift right now. And then another one was like, but in a really subtle way. And then another one was like, because that's what we programmed. And so that's good. We're getting there. We're there already. Yes, we are, aren't we? We're there already. So hopefully there's all this stuff that some of us want to happen and do with the videos and starting our journey to financial self-sufficiency, which starts with making the videos consistently and regularly and putting them up and out there and getting a community and a following, I suppose. Knowing that it's safe. And to continue releasing some of the other ones of us, to continue releasing our judgments and assumptions and opinions that have come from the living of 43 years. But I suppose we've been in this for like 7 years almost now, haven't we? But even I suppose up to the psych ward, up to 2020. So 40 years of conditioning and domestication and programming. But it all overlaps now and happens together. I suppose some of us just get really fearful because a lot of what we're a trigger to people and a lot of what we say triggers people. But, you know, that's the solution, not the problem, like we said a while ago, years ago. Because it's the triggers that point us in the direction of what we're in denial about and wakes us up. And yeah, the family had rainbow rugs in their house as well. And so their rainbow rugs in their house, rainbow rugs in our house, our rugs in our house are the rainbow rugs. It's the rainbow bridge from the subconscious to the conscious. So, Tito Pomomo, yoga, bring your subconscious to your conscious through your body, not like the psychotherapy talking that always does it through the mind. That facts, you're at Fox, hey, Tomo. That messes you up big time, doesn't it? Yeah. That messes us up big time, didn't it? Yeah. Just talking it over and over. You've got to feel it in the body, the physical body, the chemical body, the emotional body. It's all interconnected. It's all energetics. It's all energy. Solar panels and smart meter and all that thingy happening. We've been, a good day, 40 kilowatts. Yeah, 40 kilowatts and 40 kilowatt hours for a day. And we've not even used that for a week. And we put everything on during the day now, which makes it all so much easier. We don't have to remember to put it on at night. I think we're going to have to go now. I think there was something else that we wanted to say, but I don't know what. That's been put up yesterday. It was opened this morning, so hopefully we'll create our chakra meditation for these 3 cards. The first 6 red ones, or 5 of them, have had meditations done with the Koshi chimes and the elements. This is the last one of the red. And we did a heart. We need to do a heart one, a sound healing heart meditation as well. So that's the red foundation with violet. That's the orange red, and that's the orange. And was it Reams said about filling the chair? Someone said about filling the chair. Yeah, it's Reams read about filling the chair. So we've already done our meditations for these personally. We just haven't done the sound meditations. And the meditation for this one is about sitting in the chair and filling it. Oh, the alignments and synchronicities are nuts. So anyway, we're going to go. We've not got too much on today. We're not able to do too much. We've come on today as well. We're finishing off dehydrating the onions. We've got all our powders up there, onion, garlic, red and white, wild garlic. So the smaller this powder basically helps feed the smallest of the bacteria. That's our green mix that's running out, but we did a full-on harvest this morning. We got videos for all the shorts, but we did a full-on harvest of strawberry leaves, lemon balm, dandelion leaves, the chamomile. I think that's it. And we've got these herbs here. So they're all dry. That's like blue hyssop and lavender. So they're all dry, so we can blend them up into a powder, dehydrate the others and blend them up into a powder, and that will continue our green mix. We've got lemon balm and a dash of our rosemary there. This is hopefully, we were then going to look it up and see if that helps period pains and stuff. With a tiny bit of honey. Oh, that's really nice. We've got our wholemeal sourdough bread rising. We never really liked taste of it, but it's better for you. It's all the bacteria stuff. It is all the bacteria stuff, isn't it? We've got to grind up more rice and grind up more flour to make rice flour and oat flour to continue to do our gluten-free one. The kamut flour wasn't really flour. It's like tiny little grains, and it wasn't very nice. We don't know how to use the yeast, I don't think, but that's what came out of the kamut flour. Heavy, dense, didn't rise. So we're not even putting yeast in that anymore because we thought we were helping it, but we're not even using it right. And then all this has had our stuff on, so all of that's got to get the sticky labels off, wash it. But we cleared that for it, which is good, which will clear that service. And then we can make our flower champagne again. Yeah, that's what we started with, wasn't it, on the connection to source. Clarity of source energy. That's a good ending there. The clarity and connection of source energy was started on June the 21st, which is about a month away. And I tell you what, our understanding and clarity of source energy is just like amazing through all the sensory systems and all the different bits that we post everywhere. There's little snippets from it and you bring it together. One about the tree, which we've been watching, that holds onto the old leaves and then grows the new ones, and it doesn't drop the old leaves before growing the new ones. Are we looking at the viewer? So now when we're looking like that, are we looking more at the viewer? We'll have to test this when we go back than this. Because this is where we're looking at ourselves, but it looks like we're looking at the viewer, ourselves, but we'll have to see. There's actually more little green things I'm noticing on it now, so that was like a real help of not having to let go of the old and the new. And we've just got to get confidence now that we're not going to be fully impeccable with our word, the first agreement of the 4 agreements, because for us to get fully impeccable with our word, we need to start the journey of making videos and creating videos, probably through tarot and oracle on all the channels, but also different ones. And understand that that's going to be the next stage to help us do it, and that we're almost there in the house, and that us saying this and saying it out loud again is there. Oh yeah, just while we're here, we did that thing about one almost died, the intuition test. You've got the other one that is thriving. The one that almost died is living, which is great. We need to change the water in these again. and get them out. That one's were cuttings of the one that was surviving, and this is the one that's surviving, that's almost dead, that we're hoping to revive again. But look, the one that's surviving looks like it could have been the red one, which I think is what we said on our comment, but for some reason our comment's not showing up. But if that is the case, we think the one that's thriving is the black one, which means that must be the white one. Which would also make sense that it's the black and the white that are still living, because that's how a baby sees in black and white. And we're completely shifting and reprogramming the wiring of our body. Right down to the baby years of the brain networks and everything. And so it makes sense that that would be what happens. Not that we're seen in black and white again, but what we're talking about is the metaphysical. But there's a whole shift and change in the actual physical, tangible reality. And we can tell that from our environment around us, because that's what we've been posting our videos on, and how we've understood ourselves more from our immediate environment, and nurturing our immediate environment and eating clean as much as we can have been our main focuses over self-care, hygiene and washing. You know, the eating the food, the clean food has been much more important. Well, we say it's been much more important because that's what happened. I mean, it's great now, it's getting hot now, and we're actually putting all the fruit remnants away in the compost, whereas before they'd get left out and there'd be flies and everything like that. So we're getting much better, all of us, at all the different little things. So these are meant to be sprouts, but we grew them accidentally. So I think we're going to take some of them out and actually grow them as plants, like we did with the kidney beans. So we've got a few things. Most of these haven't grown either, cauliflowers, anything like that. The ones that have grown was one cucumber and both courgettes, and they're the ones that hold a lot of water content, which is like us holding a lot of water content in our colon, because because that's what our body's doing, because of the Celtic knot in the intestines, because everything goes back to the intestines first. And so limiting us eating a variety of food and not just limiting it and doing a keto diet or something, make sure we keep all the processing cables open, because if we were to do certain diets like that, it would be like if you thought an industrial estate and you had a recycling centre and you had the processing of all the different types of food or whatever, certain ones would close down and shut down, and that's not what we want. We want all of them to be able to function. We don't want certain ones to be able to close down and shut down, because fascia adhesions happen really strongly in people with EDS. And that was the point. I think this family that come round, I think he was talking about it, and I think their son might have EDS, but we gave him a leaflet and stuff as well. But when doctors talk to you about stuff like this, they just say it's a chronic illness and you're just going to have to deal with the pain and everything for the rest of your life. And if you've got someone that's really traumatized and got mental health issues already and that's suicidal, that's going to make them worse. Not only is that going to make them worse, it's not true. It's only true from one perspective, which is the limiting perspective of the 3D tangible doctor, hospital, medical world that we live in at the moment. And that's, you know, look into Dr. Joe Dispenza, into Bruce Lipton, and then go on to Greg Braden and Nassim Haramein, and then Jane 108. They share all of what's possible in the infinite, but what's possible in the infinite, we still need like boundaries and the rest of it too. So anyway, we're gonna go. We don't want to get off on it, but here's a bit of sharing that's hopefully a bit more, not too long, a bit more cohesive, comprehensible and absorbable, because some of our stuff can be like, can't it, between us all. Bye, have a beautiful sunny day.